Going live in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, we exist. We vibing.
Ah.
This is gonna be a
And
different kind of session than what we had before. I guess, like you can see on screen, this is definitely a more world-building oriented session where we're gonna be talking more about certain parts of the world, certain parts of different regions. We'll be talking a little bit about Octavia, a little bit about Kusanali, a little bit about the what are they called? The Untamed Wilds, and a little bit about I brain, not brains, but like maze
yeah,
zone.
yeah, May, could you remind us as to what your nation is?
Atla?
Asta.
Is it Asta or Atla?
Atla.
Let me
It's Asla.
Asla.
I don't know.
Let me look at things. Again, I also apologize to peoples because I'm a little low energy right now. A little would you say undercooked or overcooked?
Technically, both. Like, you're seared on the outside, but still kind of raw.
Someone just didn't cook
Cordon
it
bleu.
properly.
Not quite.
Like when your chicken's
Mm-hmm.
burnt on the outside, but it's still pink on the inside. Because fuck you.
Yeah. And before we get too far, welcome back to our channels, everybody.
Yes.
I
Again, I apologize for the weirdness. Where the
Oh.
ba
So,
Oh, come on, internet. I believe in you. I probably shouldn't, but I believe in you.
fair enough.
Load
Um,
the thing, so I remember.
just in
Load the
terms
thing.
of how do I word this? Noah, which nation do you want to start with?
Uh, well, we'll get into that once I can remember. You just named it after a after a shonen character. Very good.
I mean,
Very good, sir. Very good.
Kusanali's technically named after a character in Genshin, so
Very good.
one of those deals of don't point fingers at May.
And well, Sam, as you might be able to figure out, there are certain things. There's a certain reason why a certain nation is named the way that it is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Uh huh. So after the incident there, the governor kind of like. So there were two necromancers, and they were found. They were kind of yoinked by some people. We basically took care of their main forces, or at least some of their main contingents, and they weren't expecting this. They were not expecting any of this. They don't know what they were expecting, but they weren't.
Um.
Okay, they knew what they were expecting, but they weren't expecting this. And
Yeah,
while
they weren't expecting an international contingent to get involved.
and this is a double-edged sword because now they know that you're there, but they also uh, there's also the fact that nations only vaguely know about each other. That's kind of the point of this is that they usually most nations only vaguely know about each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So while they know that a creature like that's pretty dangerous, and that a mech's pretty dangerous, and that a scholar has their talents, and that the gun person, and they know general things
They
about the
don't know the
characters.
details, is
They
what you're
don't know
trying
the
to
full
say.
details. But the two necromancers were, the two necromancer cultists have been kind of taken in, and the governor says to you something to the effect of, needing to take care of the bureaucratic side of this, otherwise it will be a pain in, otherwise people will not let him hear the end of it, so he's got to deal with the bureaucratic side of this before he can get back to you. But he does
Yeah.
leave you with the effectively the recruitment papers, which sort of detail, like, well, we can get into the detailing of that later, but effectively it talks about the, like, should you choose to accept this this request, there will be deals made to make things worth your while, not only for yourself but also for your country, because let's be real, that's part of the reason why you are here.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Yeah, it's like,
Before I take a look at the paper too hard, can I actually check to see how old that ogre body is?
oh,
Like,
the Zomboger.
yeah, is it recently well, was it recently raised or was it like a couple months?
Arcana check.
And the reason I ask is because if it's been recently raised, there might be more.
Mm-hmm.
27.
Okay. Yeah, that's still a fairly fresh corpse that you kind of take note of before it starts getting burnt. Or
Well,
before it starts getting cremated, well, hauled off and then cremated.
yeah. If
You know
the
you know
if
how
the
dealing with
governor's still around,
necromancers works.
yep. Confiscate anything important and burn the rest.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
If the governor is still around, Beatrice is going to kind of look at him and do the that was a recently raised corpse. I think we might have bigger problems on the periphery coming.
Of course it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
Stab, 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 stab.
Careful, you might set your weapon on fire.
Mm.
well, actually,
Puts it
but
away.
before that as well, it's like,
Begrudgingly.
Luke is trying to. So Luke tries to retract the pile bunker as well. Shit. All right, let's take a look at this thing. What's going on here? Well, the power's fine. Oh, well, maybe that's too much power. Alright, fuck it. Send that data off. Send it back
Would
home.
you like an extra light?
Sorry, what's that?
Would you like an extra light?
I'm able to see the issue with it shot out with too much force, and the material wasn't.
Is
It
it
shot out with more
where the
force than the.
hydraulics damaged, or
Well, there's that. There's the hydraulics are damaged, and well, There's also the fact that the actual pile, the spear itself, is jammed forward because it shot too far forward.
Huh.
That's fine. And he sort of releases it, and when he does, there's a bit of a familiar thing with that to you, B, anyway. The pile bunker itself sort of like dematerializes in these like particle effects, in these sort of like prismatic particle effects. I guess I can't use that thing as a power weapon just yet. And then on his back, to replace it, is a familiar saber to you.
Yes, the standard issue Octavian saber.
Which is still just as good for getting into certain, let's say, fortresses that don't want you to get in there. Good times. Good
I
times.
was going to say any hairy situations, but yes, that works too.
Oh, I think I see what the problem was. That was too much power output in general. I was using the Heracles system while also using a power weapon. And it didn't
So
know
in other
which
words,
one
you've managed to overload it.
Yeah. Okay, so I know not to do that next time.
Isn't it like the first lesson most pilots learn? And she means this in kind of a joking manner.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
I shouldn't have overloaded it, but also trying to, you know, it's still a prototype weapon. I'll say
Completely understandable.
Is Garuk still like squeeing over the giant like metallic creature? Scalus?
Scalus, it's you.
It's alright.
Now that you have time to properly look at this strange creature. Also, the goblin goes to go get a drink. Oops, I need to open up the thing on the other side. There we go.
At this point, it's probably a drink and a bath.
A drink. Well, she narrowly avoided the splash zone last time.
No.
Either way, Grook is he's still confused as fuck about this mechanical beast, but it's magic,
Yeah.
basically. He's not doing this to be disrespectful, he's just genuinely curious, and he pokes the mech with his weapon. Not to be, again, he's not doing that out of disrespect, he's just genuinely curious.
That's
like,
actually a cool thing, because as you poke the mech with your weapon, there's this like energy field that materializes. It's like this strange wall made of light.
he takes a bit of a battle stance before slowly putting his weapon around. Still on guard, but he's realizing, I'm not gonna get hit.
Octavian defense technology?
Yeah, it's the force field around the mech.
Remember, I don't have the clearance to see most of this technology, so the fact that I'm seeing it firsthand.
And then he points.
Because if you have
then he with his spear in one hand, and the shield that's You actually notice that the shield's kind of permanently attached to the the left arm, which is kind of my way of saying, because like it doesn't limit the class itself doesn't limit how many shields you can put onto the thing. So my thing is, it's only one. You can only have one shield on there, but it's permanently attached, so you can use a weapon two-handed, or you can dual wield while having a shield active. But you can't have two shields active. That's my way of dealing with it. Anyway, he sort of points to you, like the machine thing sort of points to you. You go for it, and he sort of like puts his shield for you. Like he gets into like a defensive stance. If you're looking to try it out, go for it. Hit me.
Huh? He hears the words "hit me" and he's just like, "Okay."
Step back.
And I'll be using the the Oni bat, and that is a D20. Come here. D20. There we go. Oh shit! My dice fell off the table. No!
Oof.
Fuck!
Time to improvise.
Excuse me.
Fuck it, I'll roll the D100. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's fine. I gotta set something up anyway. Oh, there it is. So this should actually be
Oh,
just
for hell's sake, where did you go?
you, and then also
You can do the digital dice if you really can't find it.
and then
There.
and I'm
And
gonna
I
let
was
you
gonna
just
try.
auto
And I
hit.
just found it as I took a step back. God damn it.
Do you want to roll the physical die to see if it rolls better?
Yeah, I'd rather roll the physical die.
Then just take the auto hit. Okay, go for it, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, I need to.
15 plus 8. 18.
That's. Hang on, give me a moment here. I need to open up the. I forgot to set up this thing partially because of what kind of session that today is going to be, and partially because I'm just a big dumb dummy. This is the
Oh,
correct thing,
you're
right?
just absent-minded.
Who the fuck are you? So int mod plus 5 times pilot level. So open up character sheet so I can remember.
No, that's if we were to do a long rest. Never mind. Wait, no.
There we go. So, for those of you watching on my end, technically speaking, that token and that token are the same health. The green bar is the same thing between the two of them. If I could link them up to be changed whenever one is changed versus the other, that would do it, but I cannot, so. But anyway, because I'm kind of letting you hit, because he's kind of like letting you hit him, despite that not hitting his AC normally, you're still kind of hitting him, quote unquote. It's just the, sort of
Right.
he wants to demonstrate the thing. So
So it would hit, but it's gonna bounce off.
kind of. As you go to hit,
Alright.
roll damage. Just roll the dam.
Okay, give me 1 second here.
Alright.
Which is the...
The do.
Which is a 1d8 plus a 1d10.
No, the 1d10
yeah,
is
1d.
the 1d10 is if you're two-handing it.
Oh, for two
1d8
anyway.
is
Then
if you're
it would
one-handed.
be a 1d8 plus 2. Sorry.
Okay, go for it.
Soft 8. Soft nat.
Soft nat? I don't know what that means.
So what that means is I
So-
rolled a 6 plus the 2.
Okay, so 8. Okay.
So it's just 8.
And then, since he's still
Yeah, that's why I said
technically in
soft
his mode, the way that it functions, it's still... So, two things right off the bat that you notice. The first thing is that as you go to hit with your Oni bat, and ever actually go ahead. Garuk, you kind of know this. You notice it because you're there and you're the one doing it. Anyone who wants to, go ahead and roll a perception check, please.
Can I just notice this passively?
No.
Like, does it have to be active?
I would prefer it to be, unless you
Shoot,
can
my brain's not wanting to
explain why
work.
it would be passive.
All right.
Give me a second here. Brain's not wanting to work here. $25.
What's up, brain?
It's the thing that helps us play D&D. Also, Garuk, you didn't need to roll anything.
No,
because
no,
you're the
I'm
one
so
that,
bad at D&D.
Garuk, you already know because you're the one doing it. The other two of you are able to sort of are able to notice it as well from watching. As he goes to swing the bat, first off, the first thing you notice, especially you, Garuk, is something seems to push the bat away as you're going in for a strike, which sort of slows down and dampens the attack. It does manage to connect with something, but as it looks like it's about to connect with the shield that you're aiming to hit, this like strange projection of light sort of intercepts before you can even manage to hit the shield, and sort of, and it sort of bounces the weapon back, which is effectively my way of saying, with this system, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage that he takes is reduced by double his proficiency bonus. And there's also that force field that's active. So you did manage to damage the force field a little bit. But not by as much as you would have expected.
The moment he realizes that, he's just like, oh, again, from his perspective, this thing wants to be funny with me. Okay. He's gonna swing again, but with it being the two-handed.
Okay.
Da, 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 25. And that is a 1d10.
Yep.
Sorry.
That one actually hits regardless.
So 1d10. And it's a 1d10 plus what?
Plus your strength modifier, so plus 2.
Plus 2, okay.
And is he proficient? Because you add proficiency on that one as well.
You only got a 25, so yeah.
I got a nat 20, but because of the Oni bat, it's a +5 to the attack.
Oh, so it's
So it's a crit. So you roll
2d10.
2d10s.
Just crit.
So I roll it twice.
Yeah, roll 2d10s then.
Okay. First one plus the
Get a con save too.
bonus modifier, that's an 8. And for the second one, 3.
8 and a 3. Well, actually, I'll say that the first roll is a 10, so 10 and a 3, so 13 plus your strength, so that makes it a 15.
Okay.
And that is a successful save. So you don't knock the I don't know how that would function with the force field anyway, but you don't knock the shield arm uselessly limp. But this time you do manage to actually, again, there's still that weird dampening field where it feels like
He's slugging through basically what would feel like oil or just sludge is just slowing him down as he's swinging.
It feels like
correct?
you're hitting through. It feels like you're trying to swing that thing in water. Like you're in one of the swamps and you're trying to swing it while fully submerged in water. But you do manage to actually
Right.
whap something good. It still doesn't break through the force field though.
Right.
But you do get a better look at this like hexagonal pattern shield generator as it shield that gets generated as you sort of whap into it.
The moment he sees the parent, that's when he'll just jump back and basically in his native tongue, he would start basically cursing at it and just being like, generally, what the fuck?
What is your native tongue?
If I remember correctly, his is both Draconic and Primordial. We never got a chance to put the languages in, which I was asking for, but we never got a chance to, but oh well.
Lizard folk, at least from the race itself, is common.
Oh, putting
Draconic.
yeah. So yeah, you have common, draconic, and primordial. I think is what you got.
Yeah,
So are you
thank
cursing
you. Because those are the 3 that I was after.
Are you cursing in draconic or in
Primordial. He's cursing in Primordial.
Okay.
The minute Beatrice actually like that it clicks, Garuk.
Huh? So he's looking at what?
You might not want to use those insults again.
When he looks at her, he's not looking at her like being a cocky or being like, oh, I'm this or that. No, he's genuinely looking at her confused as fuck all. Like, what?
I understood what you said. Don't use that again.
Am I gonna have you?
Oh.
Fuck it. Garuk, roll for intent. I'm yoinking that.
Oh boy.
So roll 2d20s.
Oh boy.
So-
And this is with a disadvantage, correct?
No.
No,
just
no.
You're rolling 2.
You have to roll
separate
them
D20s.
separately.
Okay. First one. Plus the it's a 19,
there's
but
no
because of the
modifier.
modifier, it's an
No,
18.
There is no
Here,
modifier.
Oh,
That's straight.
The 19.
19. Okay, and roll the
Okay,
other.
so 19 and
11.
Okay, there you go. So, with rolling
Yeah.
for intent, the way that functions is, you would roll. So the way that it functions is you roll the 2d20s, right? And the one that is furthest from 10 is the one that gets it. And if it's positive, then if it's above 10, then You describe to me your intent and how that translates across. If you roll below a 10, and if the one that wins is below the 10, then I describe to you how it functions, how it comes across, what happens. So since you
Okay.
since the better one, I mean they were both above a 10 anyway. Describe to me how that comes across.
It's generally he's doing it out of fear and just like generally what confused and just confused, scared, and shocked. He's not saying the cursor. It's like those moments where it's like, God damn it! It's more like one of those moments.
Oh, like
is really what he was saying in Primordial.
Oh, so like when
like a baseball almost hits you in the face,
What-
like God damn it, or
like when Kaif strung along a shit ton of curses because he was being chased in the back rooms. Got it.
yeah. Generally, the cursing wasn't intention. The intent of it was not to be insulting. It was more like "son of a bitch" or like "fuck," like scared out of his mind.
Yeah, more like
Yeah.
What it
fucking
was.
shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Beatrice is just doing the I understood what you said. You might
Please
not
be
want to
careful.
use that again.
And he hops out of the Luke hops out of the machine and he presses some buttons on his little arm keyboard thing and it shrinks down to about the size of a suit of armor. And he sort of like
Is this like plate or?
it is plate. And in fact, go ahead and roll an investigation. Because this has been upgraded since you last saw it.
Grook or Beatrice? Beatrice, okay.
I'll let you roll. I'll let anyone who wants to roll an investigation check. But
Alright.
there will be a basic int check. So
Excuse me, due to my -1 modifier, that is a 16. I rolled a 17,
Oh, nice.
-1, 16.
you
Also
as well.
16.
And that's a weird fucking golem. May.
It's a weird fucking dog.
So
I
two of you notice
can
a
try to explain things later if you'd like.
two of you notice a particular shine about the metal. Garuk, would you mind rolling a basic intelligence check? Or perhaps
And this is with adding the modifier,
what kind
correct?
of hang on, what kind of tools do you have?
Well, is this to cook? Not much.
Roll a just roll a basic intelligence. Just straight basic intelligence.
With the modifier or no?
Yeah, with your int mod.
Okay.
I would have said Smith's tools with int, but you don't have that, so.
No. Not yet, anyways. And that is a 14. I rolled a 15, but because of my -1 modifier, it's a 14.
Okay. There are the two of you know it by different names. B, you might know it by both names. To be entirely honest, or you might know of both of its names, but Garuk, for you specifically know it as star metal. Metal that is fallen from, or star metal, or maybe sky metal, something to that effect, where it's metal that has fallen from the sky, like grandfather's gifts. To
Great
B,
grandfather's metal.
for you, B, you recognize that metal as adamantine.
I don't want to know how the Octavian Empire managed to get its hands on. Or at least maybe I do. I don't know.
What can I say? I was lucky. There was a star shower.
It was our
That,
grandfather got
that
angry.
that's something that would go into the general notes.
Yeah. About
Star
about a month ago, there was a star shower over Octavia.
hang on.
And that's the origin of your power.
Let's
I didn't mean
let's
that in that
actually
way, May.
make
There was just a meteor shower
let's
that
actually
happened.
make a note here. General.
Definitely not meant to be the echo.
That was not the intent. God damn it! Do I have to roll? Do I as a person have to roll for intent now?
Oh.
So it's Star Tower? Just
Yeah, it's called the star shower. It's star shower and meteor shower. It goes by a variety of names. In fact,
and these are about as rare as normal meteor showers. In which case,
they're
rare.
fairly rare. They're not. Meteor showers are not as uncommon as they are here. Like in the real world, they're kind of like you get one like
Mhm.
Whereas on ours, it's in a rare occurrence, whereas on here, it's more of a common normality.
it's it's more of like a less of like a once every um
Once every several hundred years.
yeah, instead of once every several hundred years, it's
as
more like
opposed to
it might be closer to like maybe once a year to like once every like 5.
yeah. So it's a much more common event. All
But
right.
what's less common,
put
what's less common is when the meteorites don't burn up completely. That
Yep.
means that there was a big enough chunk
Mm-hmm.
to actually land.
Mhm.
Which, yeah, Kusanali probably would have known about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like anything in terms of like military, Kusanali and Octavia are a slight a slight pissing match over. Just to put it mildly.
I mean, yeah, I
Mildly.
kind of feel like they're almost like rivals.
It's supposed to be like friendly rivals as opposed to like your
Almost, almost sister nations.
almost almost. The
They're
the
they're
governing style
childhood
is
friends.
definitely different and not quite. I at least want to say that the governing style between Kusanali and Octavia is different.
Yeah, Octavia. While they are, while there's a rules and regulations thing, they tend to be a little bit more lenient on certain things.
Which is surprising considering it's also an empire.
That's the thing. Certain laws are sort of they're put in place, and you've got to deal like basically the Senate and the Emperor kind of have to come to an agreement on things.
Yeah, they actually have to agree, and the Senate can be a much bigger body than just one person.
Oh, absolutely, it is.
Mhm.
The Senate is like, if I remember correctly, 100 or 150. However,
I don't know. This is a note for your nation than mine.
yeah, I know. And yeah, there are a bunch of other people that can outvote the emperor, but the emperor also happens to have a vote that counts as 50 votes. The reason why their vote weighs more than another person's is because the emperor is the face of
They
the empire.
actually rule the country.
Yeah, they rule the country. They are the face of the empire. They're the ones that have to face consequences and repercussions when shit happens.
Hmm. And
And
this
yeah,
is kind of a note for you.
oh, go ahead.
Kusanali, the Arcadia is very much like the Senate part of Octavia, where it's like it's effectively a council of seven. Each small group is one of the schools of magic,
Okay.
and they all have to kind of come to a consensus on something, which, depending on the school, can be a pain in the ass. Uh,
Oh, by the way, there's someone that is uh, there, there is somebody who is on the cusp of becoming an eighth Senate member, as he is forging or attempting to forge a new school of
a new
magic.
school.
And I think you might know what that school of magic is, as it
Um,
is something that I've worked on in the past.
it's been a bit. I don't. I remember you working on several different things.
Novomancy.
Ah, yeah. There's going to at least be one one part of the Senate that's going to be like, no,
Yeah.
because, and I'm going to say this now, necromancy and enchantment are like the two heads that are cracked down on quite a bit in Kusanali, simply for what they do.
Yeah.
So they might see this new school and just do the no. It's like we already get cracked down on enough. We don't need another one. You know?
Yeah, it'll depend upon how it's um introduced.
Yeah, and there's also a chance that it might be folded into the evocation sect, simply because of what they kind of do. Anyway,
Yeah.
back on target here.
Uh, and
Hmm.
as the armor sort of like set up into like a sort of a containment thing, he kind of puts the armor into or he starts putting the armor into a bag of holding. Another metal creature flies down. Oh, Simba, there you are. And it sort of it whistles
And
at him happily. Oh, I wasn't gonna leave you behind, buddy. And he gives
oh,
this flying metal weird uh
thing.
thing. I guess the equivalent of head pats.
Yeah, just at the flying metal sphere. It's fine.
Yes.
Hello, Debo. It's been a while.
Cheerful whistles. Whistles and beeps. So, something to note, it can understand every language that I can speak, but it does not necessarily speak languages itself. That being said, like its intent tends to get across with the whistles and beeps. It's kind of like binary,
Mhm.
kind of like how R2D2, despite the fact that it's just beeps and whistles, you can still understand them.
Mhm.
Groog is very, very gently just tapping on it.
There is another metallic sound.
Okay, another door.
Mm.
Actually, this one's a
The main
drone.
look that Groog has on his face is just confused and shocked.
Think of it as a small metal pet.
And for reference, it is about the size of it is size small, so
Yeah, small metal pet.
yeah. Uh,
A a pet.
kind of.
Mhm.
So he's my little buddy. He's gonna help me out here. I've been working on this in the background a little bit. I remember my first designs were.
Uh-huh.
I remember my first designs were using propellers to keep him afloat, but I found that a gravity
Pro-
chamber actually works better.
Okay, Groog might have an idea about the propellers, but no fuck all clue about a gravity chamber.
Um, I and yeah, the minute Peter sees the confused expression, I I actually don't know how to explain that one. Huh.
So propellers.
Take
Another
a
one of
gravity man.
grandfather's gifts. He's
Um,
fully looking at you, Beatrice, while pointing at the metal pet.
uh, kind of using grandfather's gifts to create something akin to, well, your. I hesitate to call her a pet.
Companion?
Yes.
She's not my pet.
Yeah,
She's
more
my
like a
clutch
companion.
mate. Or that. She and I hatched at the same time, actually.
Huh.
You just see her just squat down, and she's just like, she's basically doing the equivalent of just sitting on the ground while she's just kind of like gnawing at some of her scales.
That kind of reminds me of the.
We've known each other ever since we came from our eggs.
That kind of reminds me of that one movie.
So the two of you are basically family.
If anything, she's the only family I have left. After whatever. You can tell with this attention, you hear him say in Primordial the equivalent of fucking dickheads as he spits into the ground.
Yeah, I'm not gonna chastise you for that one. Um, I'm I'm sorry.
For what I do know of, my only other family member fought bravely, but I know not where his body is, sadly.
Well, maybe when we're done here, we can go find it.
The
It'll always
problem is the raid happened long ago.
And B, you see a light bulb basically pop over Luke's head.
Lieutenant,
Ah,
what are
I
you
see.
doing?
So that's their plan.
Oh,
Lieutenant?
whose plan?
Yggdrasil, this city-state here, wants to unite this continent. Think about it.
Hmm.
Think about all the issues that that you've told me about, and that's just what you've been comfortable telling me about, B. And you know damn well about Octavia's war with the dragons.
I'm not concerned so much about our nations. I'm more worried about Malava. From what I remember, that negotiation did not end well. And our representative seems to be a bit of a firebrand, to put it nicely.
So the trading didn't go well.
No, or at least from what I understand. And they
Ah,
and the only reason that Beatrice actually does know it is because there was somebody in Kusanali. Well, somebody from Kusanali was there just to kind of keep tabs on the situation, but she doesn't know the details.
also, before any of those corpses disappeared, I was gonna say Garuk was gonna raid the bodies, but never mind.
There wasn't much to be had off of them. They were
Okay,
zombies.
never mind
And,
then.
I mean, if you wanted a bone from a skeleton, maybe, but like, I wouldn't even feed that bone to Devil Joanna. I know Devil Joanna can eat a
No.
lot of things, but rotting flesh
Oddly
is
enough,
not
she's
necessarily
picky.
something that is good, and bones from forever
No.
ago are not good for
For her, yeah, no. And even then, she's kind of picky. Like how every
That is
creature has their own
strange.
temperament.
Yep.
Even for her, she's got her own temperament where she doesn't like bones actually.
I can see it.
Whereas most of her kind, they don't give two shits about bones. They just like, oh, here's a corpse, crunch.
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Whereas with her, she actually picks and nips around the bones as best as she can.
Huh.
She's picky that way.
She likes
Interesting.
meat. Mm.
Oh, she just prefers the flesh, not the bone.
That's fair.
Oh,
She's picky that way.
on the topic of problems, on a bit of a darker note, Luke, you actually noticed that Beatrice's corruption has actually gotten a little bit worse. Like it's starting to come up into her cheek that's above the mask.
I
The rot is here, folks.
It's not contagious.
I'm not, I'm
I
not
can
concerned
promise
about
you
that.
that.
I was saying that out of it.
No, it's more to Garuk and possibly May's character because this is actually the first time that they might have seen it.
No, he would have. I was saying it out of as a joke from a different series, different campaign series that I'm watching on YouTube. I was joking from that.
Fair. Sorry.
It's all good.
I
Uh,
know there's no cure, but I can still offer you what medicines I have. if that'll help.
Um,
And he says this kind of hush hush. He says this kind of like to not draw attention
yeah.
to it.
She'll just smile. I've got the recipe. I have every intentions of stopping by. Oh, what was the storefront's name? Mad Jane's,
Oh yeah.
I think. At least commission her so I don't progress.
I think I saw Mad Jane's nearby here. It's down that way.
It's not Kusanali medicine, but at this point I'll take just about anything.
Who knows? Maybe it'll
But
open a new point of view, a new angle.
maybe. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
And yeah, Garuk and I keep forgetting your character's name. You guys can actually kind of see that Beatrice is sickly to a certain degree.
Do you need healing? I think is the
Uh,
term.
My
um,
character's name is Hibara.
uh, well, let me ask you a question. Where do you get your healing from?
Was that to Garuk or to Hibana?
To Garuk, I'm assuming.
It was to
The one offered.
Garuk because Garuk actually, Garuk actually offered.
He just reaches into his pouch. You see him grabbing a few things. You hear a few odd sounds, and then you just hear him just crush it in his hands.
Roll medicine.
From me or
From
Garuk?
Scout.
Yeah, for me.
Okay.
My healing comes from the Moon Mother.
That's a 7.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
19.
Okay. And now, once again, I'm gonna have you roll. Do I do it? Actually, yeah. Just because the simple fact of physiology. Roll for intent again.
Yep.
So the
Okay,
2d20s.
so I roll that twice without the
So
modifier,
just
correct?
roll 2d20s without
Yep.
modifier. Yeah.
Okay.
And record the results of both.
14.
Okay.
And
13.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So you hand some sort of
at least it's positive.
medicine.
It's like a balm slash salve. It's like in color, it's like a yellowish color. Stings a little bit when it's applied to the skin, but the majority of it, it feels like, oh, I just walked through like a grove of lemons and basically feel better.
Perhaps more of acts more like a painkiller.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's kind of what she needs most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a painkiller that with the scent of lemon. But I don't think you want to question the other ingredients that makes it work.
Actually, I do.
She's not afraid of.
Basically, it would be. Alright.
Good, good.
It's a mix of lemon rinds, a aqua sac from a different type of creature, tree resin, and blood from Devil Joanna. It
I
makes a yellowish salve that heals and kills pain.
Well,
I see.
yeah.
Um, well, at the moment I'm relatively well.
He pulls out all four ingredients. These need to be mixed to make it work.
Oh, and I'm
Which
assuming.
is why he's holding the salve in his hand out to her.
Oh, and I'm assuming that they only last so long when activated. So you have to use them as soon
Mhm.
as they're concocted.
Okay. All right. And you'll kind of notice that she pulls back her gloves a little bit and puts it on both of her wrists and then both sides of her neck. Well, we'll see how well that actually does. Thank you.
Hmm. Welcome. He puts all the ingredients back into his pouch.
So you said that you get
Whenever my shoulders begin to hurt, that's when I use it. As he just thumbs to his shoulders slash to his back.
Mhm.
huh.
We'll,
So you said that you get
we'll
your
see how
magic
well
from
it
the
actually
moon.
does.
And he looks to Hibara. You said that you get your magic from the moon.
The moon mother, yes.
Is I assume that's some sort of deity.
Never seem to agree.
Hmm.
Excuse me.
So when you say the moon mother, do you
Grandmother?
and he points to the moon.
Hmm.
Is that what you mean, or is it an entity that would reside on or within the moon?
Yes.
I mean, which one? Because we have reports of people living on the moon. I mean, people live on Titans as well, but like, so living on a god isn't impossible.
To be fair, it could also be both.
It is both.
I see. Hibara, you kind of notice that Beatrice takes a step back. Just like she's still engaged with the conversation, but it's a I don't know if I can trust you.
Huh?
Mhm.
I to be completely blunt, my condition cannot be healed using divine magic. The reason I know this is because my family tried and it made the condition worse.
Uh, so your tribe let you down.
Um, that is one of many ways, yes.
I mean, failing
Understood.
failing to succeed does not necessarily mean failing to progress. It just means that they now know what doesn't work. It's like people that
Um,
it's like when, and I'm not necessarily he sort of looks at you, I'm not necessarily defending them, because I know what I know at least what you told me, but um, just
there's one detail about this that she's actually not bringing up,
right,
and this is player to player knowledge. Um, the whole divine thing that was done against her will.
Ah. Hmm.
She's not bringing that up to
yes.
Luke. She's not bringing that up to the rest of
I
the
don't
party right now.
I don't remember if she brought that up to Luke ever at all before.
No, she hasn't. Luke, the only thing that Luke knows about Beatrice's family is that they aren't in contact.
Right.
He doesn't know how bad it actually is.
But there are some people out there that, or some people within Octavia that, on the topic of dark matter, tend to ridicule they tend to ridicule the scientists that are looking into what dark matter actually is. Um, and a lot of times we are able to find out what it isn't rather than what it is. And people tend to make jokes of that, but it's still progress forward. It's still eliminating things that it could be. And eliminating means that would be wasted to try and figure out what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
And
And
I'm
if
just
it's
gonna go
any
ahead and say
consolation,
that the only person here who would theoretically know what dark matter is B, outside of obviously Luke.
yeah.
Right.
If it's any consolation, based on the research that I've done, the quote unquote cure can vary from person to person to person. So it's really just a matter of finding my cure. If one
Hmm.
if one actually exists.
Perhaps we will
Is
find it
this
in our truck.
I hope so.
you said before that it's like a magical disease? Is this not more like a curse? Because it sounds more like a curse to me from my knowledge of magic.
From from the research, and I assume that we are like walking back to a tavern
Oh yeah,
as 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 this is going on. It's theoretically both.
like
Hmm.
like
The way
vampirism
that I
or lycanthropy.
yes, where you can receive it and thus have it be a curse, but you can also be born with it, making it a disease. My case was I I, I was born with it.
Hmm.
But being
I
wouldn't that make it more of a disorder then? Semantics.
yeah, she just kind of looks at it like that's semantics and you know it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she gives him that look as he's like looking off somewhere. Is like it just does the semantics.
But on a lighter note of conversation, Hibara, your spell mastery was quite impressive. Do you think
Thank
you
you.
could teach me to a certain degree?
I'll see what I can do.
Are you all right, Mr. Garuk over there? You
It's perception that you roll to try and figure something out, to see if someone's, to sense if someone is there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you asking us to roll
Thank
perceptions on you?
you. No, I'm asking, the player is asking if I could roll for Garuk perception because he's getting this weird feeling that he's always had that something's either like watching him or he's getting a sense that he's being watched by something. And that
Okay.
nagging feeling is coming back to the a little stronger than usual.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll
So I would
perception.
roll the perception, correct?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That might be something to DM me about later, because I don't recall that. I don't
Or at
recall that
least
coming up
sticking it in the player notes.
yeah, I don't
Yep.
recall that coming up in character creation. So I'm not saying you can't. I'm just trying to figure out how to wield that or how to use that. Okay,
Yeah.
no, how to wield that against you. That will be a weapon that I wield against you.
It's a
I'm
case
well aware.
you're trying to
That's why
figure
I
out
asked
how to
earlier
make
if
it work.
you read the DM I sent you. Sorry.
Oh, I'm stupid. I forgot. What the fuck? Oh.
You forgot. It happens.
Low energy days be like.
Yep. Pretty much.
Also, it would be a. Is this soft 20.
Oh, so you're just giving me free reign on those characters. Just with
Pretty much.
just as long as they fulfill those rules.
If they would, please.
Okay.
Well, this will be interesting.
Interesting. I see.
Interesting.
Give me a second here, folks.
One. So what did you roll, my friend?
There we go. A soft 20. I rolled a 13 plus the modifier that makes it a 20. So a soft 20.
I mean, you look in the direction that you feel eyes on you, but you don't see anything.
Which would be basically him doing completely turning around and looking upward to the sky.
You,
Guru? What's wrong?
is there a bird that you don't like up there? Maybe a cloud that's
No.
a bad sign.
It's. It's similar to the gaze my grandfather would give me, but. Stronger, I guess one would say.
You think you're being watched?
By like a parent, I believe is what you say for it.
Well,
It feels like that, but every time I look in the direction it comes from, I always look like my head's in the clouds,
well
no matter what I do.
you did say that you have no family left.
Hmm.
Perhaps someone's looking out for you from beyond the grave.
Maybe this meeting was fated.
Perhaps.
If it was beyond the grave, would that not? And he puts his hand over his chest. Would that not be here?
It all depends
It'll be
upon
two as well.
it would depend upon the person, really. There's so many ways that you can sense the eyes of your loved one's past watching over you. From the sky, from the ground, from just around you.
I see.
If it's any consolation, it's a nice gift to have.
My ancestors smile on me. Can you say the same?
Beatrice will just look at Luke and go, "No,
That was
I can't."
with an accent. I was quoting a thing. Don't mind me.
Um,
I was quoting a game that got re-released more times than it really deserved.
I see.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Garuk, you don't really understand the concept of a game being re-released. Either it exists
No,
or
he
it
would
doesn't.
not whatsoever.
Mhm.
But no. It always feels stronger at times and then weaker at others. But it's always seeming to feel behind and up. Every time I sense it. As he just shakes his head side to side and then just scratches under his chin.
Is this guy?
Well, like, I
Uh,
wouldn't necessarily call it a bad thing.
He looks to see. Is this guy a Shonen Pro tag?
what?
Be nice, Lieutenant.
There's a bit of a shit-eating grin on his face, but not in like a mean-spirited way, but more.
Grug has no fuck all clue what that word even
I
means.
know.
Still, be
He
nice,
might,
Lieutenant.
in fact, be a protag of such. He
What?
does have a dinosaur.
True. It seems more like
Oh.
more like those 40s cartoons, I think. The year is currently
Something like that.
the year is currently. Did I give a year
What's
for
a cartoon?
pictures that move?
And often
What?
plus stories. Or at least, it depends on... It depends.
Oh, we were about to blow this dude's fucking mind. I mean, you've seen
Grug is
these.
just looking between all three of them and just like, what?
It is man-made media.
Yeah, he presses up some buttons,
Media?
and the hologram appears again. Whoop! Those weird illusions.
Are you effectively showing Garuk the equivalent of Looney Tunes?
Yes.
Have you ever
Looney Tunes, Steamboat Willie,
have you
etc.
ever read a book?
Even Joanna just gets up and starts biting at the holograms because she sees the rabbit.
No. Oh, I got a cool thing for you. Do you guys want to see the world from the moon?
What?
Octavia's managed to pull that off?
It was a struggle. What with
When did this
the rings getting in the way?
When did it happen?
Wings getting in the way?
And he presses a few buttons, and you see an orb that appears to have some strange. Wait a minute. That looks like a kind of like your country. and this orb is rotating. It do a spin. It's
The Grand
spin.
Aetherwood tree.
It spins
I
slightly.
can see Kusanali from all the way up here.
Grook's just trying to grab the orb.
You can't. It's made of light. This is an image. This is
After a little bit, you can visibly see he's starting to get a little annoyed that he can't grab it.
This is a sped
Why
up
are you
feed.
doing that?
And then there's the thing, a bunch of islands somewhere. Like there's one of these regions, just a bunch of islands. And there we have actual concrete proof of the realm shattering war, or at least that something happened.
But yeah, it's more that something happened. Now, whether or not it's actually connected to the war is a different story.
I mean,
Uh,
wars tend to
I'm not
wreak
about to
such
get
devastation.
into it. I'm still not going to get into a debate with you when I haven't had dinner or tea.
Yeah, you guys can manage to get back to the tavern. I mean, we don't have to debate it. We don't have to discuss it either. And he sort of turns the feed off.
Before Beatrice will sit down, excuse me, I need to make sure that everything's okay back home. And she'll step away to contact her retainer, Raina, just to make sure that the office is in order and that things are not going crazy at home.
Okay.
So just
and you get some. So how do you do this contacting?
it's technically through the link pearl.
Okay, it's a link pearl. I was gonna ask, is it like a link pearl? Is it a sending stone? Is it span ring? It's okay, so it's a link pearl.
I will say this: there is at least a couple scrolls of Animal Messenger, but that's only for like you need to get home now
Mm-hmm.
type of deal.
That being said, the link pearl goes off in a little bit, and you hear what you can only assume is going to be a hello before it gets cut off with a bit of a shriek and a thud, followed by the sounds of an avalanche of books falling over.
Rada?
Hi.
Well, are you hurt? First off,
I should be fine.
you're sure?
Probably. It's only books. Heavy books.
Well,
Some with metal bindings. Who binds books with metal?
I understand that.
It's so tacky.
I don't know. I don't know. Nor do I particularly mind at the moment. Considering that Reina does have, she can borrow the books because she is technically going to school at the same time that she's helping Beatrice. So
Okay.
it's more of a okay, I share the knowledge with you type of deal. So good news, I've made it to
Good news, I landed a
I've made it
job.
out of Kusanali, and Well, yes, and basically she kind of gives the recap of I'm safe. There's a shit ton of undead, but I'm fine. And just kind of a touch base. How are you? Is everything okay at home? Type of deal. Just to keep it brief.
Did you recognize any of the necromancer's symbolage or anything?
Um, can I do a history check?
I will allow you to do
Because did we actually see the necromancer?
You did. I will allow you to do a history check. Since this is a retroactive one, it'll be at disadvantage because you're trying to think back to it.
Okay. Do history
It's the same either way.
14. Either way.
And then I'm gonna do a thing. All right. You recognized a symbolage, but it wasn't. Oh, you recognized that there was something that you recognized that there was symbolage there, or probably symbolage because they had the same thing, but it was mostly like
Mm-hmm.
it was mostly dark profanities in Necro. You know what Necro looks like.
It's a case of yes, there was symbolage. No, I'm not going to tell you what they were. First of all, because I don't actually know the translation, and two, if I did, I'm in public.
I mean, so it's not. Man,
It's it's nothing concrete yet.
it's. I gotta think of a. It's not the. Fuck! I can't think of names. It's not the Bloody Graves, is it?
Uh, what do I already know about the Bloody Grapes?
Uh, that is not their
If
symbol.
if anything, yeah, no, this is something different, my dear.
Mm.
Ugh, gods, I wish it was the Bloody Graves. That would have made my job so much easier.
I mean, they're mostly just thieves and cutthroats that just want to use necromancy to get their own way.
Like I said, it would make my job easier, and by extension, yours.
Yeah. How are you, by the way? Are you okay?
Well, I'm still alive.
And that?
Securing a new supplier at least tomorrow morning, hopefully.
Good, good.
Well, what about you? Is I forget, has your term started yet or no?
It starts tomorrow. Give us a little bit of extra time.
And do you like the classes that you'll be taking?
Well, transportation is not bad. The though there are some she sort of starts to like talk about how there are certain classes that are kind of
Yeah,
annoying and uh
yeah, which that's the standard college experience. Uh,
why is
just
why is Albert got to be such a stickler for every sort of punctuation.
I... And which language is this?
Runics?
Ah. Well, it's not so much the punctuation that's the problem, it's that the runes have multiple meanings depending on context.
I'm gonna I'm gonna roll something for Luke.
And um speaking of Luke, would you like me to pass on your regards?
Uh, Luke did hear you talk about Runics, and he's like, he pipes in and he's like, you also have to make sure that the symbols are in the exact right order, otherwise the entire sentence changes. It's like emphasis on different words, but worse.
She just kind of looks at him because he would have to actually like get into her face in order to do this. So it's like, dude,
well, you noticed the ear
step
twitch.
back.
You noticed the ear twitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's the like, it's the autistic. I heard someone. I vaguely heard, or I heard someone vaguely mention a thing that I have an interest in.
Yeah, and Beatrice will definitely pass that on to Reina, and still ask, "Do you want me to send your regards?" Because she knows that Reina's got feelings for Luke, though
There is
whether or not Luke actually has feelings, well, the silence is not necessarily reassuring. If you would just let me know, and I will.
sure.
Of course. And a couple things before I leave. First, don't forget to take breaks if you need to. I don't need you turning out like me.
It cuts back to her fifth cup of coffee. And it's a giant
Yeah.
stein of coffee. She does not respond to that.
Raina, how many cups have you had today?
2.
Right.
That's a 4 to die for deception. There's you don't believe that for a fucking second.
But I'm serious. Take breaks. I know a lot of people in Kusanali are going to push you as hard as they possibly can. It's not healthy. And if you want the honest truth, not exactly worth it.
See what I can do.
I'm serious. Please. And the second thing, and it takes her a little bit because there's some genuine emotions there. I know I don't say it enough, but I am so incredibly proud of you.
Thanks.
Now, please, stay safe.
You too. Or as safe as you can be.
I only promise to try. And she'll just cut. Well, she won't cut the call, but it's a hang up.
Yeah.
Before walking back to Luke and Garuk. Well, my assistant, Raina, says hello, especially to you. Lieutenant.
Alright.
I don't know what she sees in you, but I'm not entirely mad at it.
There's
Yes.
kind of a look on his face, so kind of that kind of I concur.
It is to say I concur in a good way or I concur in a bad way. Like, to be blunt, does Luke actually have feelings for her or not?
I as a player have not, or as a character, the DM person, have not decided that yet because I don't fucking know.
Okay.
We should discuss that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something for more you
Yeah,
and
something for us to talk about later.
you and me, and not tonight.
But when he says I concur, it's more of the despite it not being the despite it not being the healthiest option, he does blame himself for certain things. You know, like
Yep.
his mother's death and his father's disappearance.
Yeah, Beatrice doesn't know the full extent of that. Just
Beatrice doesn't. Well, Beatrice would know at least about his mother's death.
yeah, she. Uh, and to which she'll kind of put her right hand on his shoulder because her left is not. It's not strong enough to do much of anything, or at least not without the gloves.
Right.
So, dinner, some rest, and we take on the whatever comes next.
Yeah.
After all, we do have to throw some undead to solve.
Right.
Though I do wonder, how
About
did
what?
those necromancers actually get into the city? That's the problem.
Siba, run a scan. Or show me what you've scanned. I had Siba fly around the city, at least a little bit before.
Aw.
And there's
Think of it
this.
as
Away.
No, the drone creates this like 3-dimensional map of the city. It's not fully complete on the insides yet, but there were some things of note. Oh. And it sort of points out to a particular the like north facing wall. Um and he zooms in on it. Actually, hang on. First I need to roll perception for him. And anyone else that wants to can roll as well. Let's see how it dies.
I'm sorry, roll.
Perception.
Perception.
Off
That's
19.
13.
Whoop. Selton. 19. 15. And what does the boy see? Oh boy. What is my perception? Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll do it. Oh, I see. And there's he spins the map, zooms in on the north-facing wall, and it becomes obvious then. Guru kind of noticed it as well, or noticed something weird where like there were lines on the wall where there shouldn't have been. It was like strange pattern. You kind of
That's
good.
no. I was gonna let you finish. Sorry.
Um, you kind of think that they might be runes or something weird, but then as it zoomed in, you realize, oh, that's a oh,
They're not good.
something not quite a well, kind of a secret passage, but more of the like was made there recently variety of secret passage.
That's new.
Something tells me that the guards didn't know about this.
We should let them know.
Mm-hmm.
Siba,
I'm going to say, can Sibo deliver
send that off.
a message?
And Siba goes off. Which then leads me to
At
the
this
question
point,
of how that was created in the first place without notice. Unless.
if we can get the jurisdiction, we could actually try to figure out what came to be. And she'll just
Wait, when
sip
was the most
her tea.
recent. Hang on. When was the most recent attack? And he looks through the notes. They gotta give us
That wasn't
something.
from today?
What's up? Oh,
That wasn't from today?
right. And he's looking through the packet that y'all were given.
Mhm.
10 days ago. Hey, how old did you say that corpse was?
I just said it was recent because you didn't give me
I
a
said 10 days.
definitive, like, okay. Oh, dear God. It's 10 days.
Yep. Okay, that.
That makes sense.
That was a faux assault then.
And they
The one
really
before
did not
was a faux
expect
assault.
us.
They wanted to break in. Or to get in.
They were trying to get something.
They were trying to get more bodies.
After all, more
Or
bodies
more cultists.
means yes.
Either more cultists. Well, they were trying to get more cultists
Oh.
and more bodies. Because more bodies means more
Mhm.
undead. More undead means a bigger army. More cultists means more either
More
more
of an
peons or
influence.
more necromancers, which means more corpses, which means more of an army. It's
Rinse,
witches and
repeat until the
necromancers are a
fall
pain
of
in
the
the
country.
ass because they hide behind their armies. Except for when they don't hide behind their armies, and then they're a pain in the ass because they just they completely fuck with the biomancy.
Right,
Certain,
you decide most soldiers, though.
certain sects do, yes. Looking at the packet that we received, was this city the only city attacked?
No.
That's the concerning part.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Uh,
there are it looks like there are three
This
major concerns, or
points.
three major points. Two of them, well, one of them is another village. One of them seems to be okay. Well, there are three other cities, but be it smaller cities that are that have been targets.
It's still a problem considering if one of them actually gets completely wiped.
I'm not saying that's not.
That's gonna cause issues.
I'm not saying that's not a problem.
Hmm. Um,
I'm saying we have three main points of interest to look into.
and we'll need to do it quickly in case someone gets smart enough to try a full-on assault using all three sources.
I don't know if they could. I mean, with how we were able to repel this assault. I know this was a smaller assault, but keep in mind that they're
I
not
can
just
do a
dealing.
lot of things, however.
Keep in mind they're not just dealing with assaults on each of these cities either.
Hmm.
They were druids that were dealing with these people. There were other adventurers that were dealing with these zombies. The caravans are dealing with them. To the best of their ability, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's dealing with them to the best of their ability. These necromancers are fighting a war on several fronts. That's why they want so many bodies. You deny them the bodies, and you deny them their frontline of defense, which is why. And he just sort of looks to everyone. Burn the bodies.
Guru just gives two thumbs up, like, okay.
Girl, it is very hard to reconstitute an undead if they are turned to ash.
I have no problem with that.
Excuse me, sorry. Had to yawn there.
No, I'm thinking because another big concern is collateral damage.
Collateral damage in what regards?
Yeah, going in and wiping out a bunch of undead, some innocent people might get caught in the crossfire. I'm
You
not saying that
evacuate them,
they
or
will, I'm saying that they might.
that's why you evacuate them.
That still takes time.
And he gives her this look. Not like a rude look or anything.
It take no. It's a that takes time, and we might not actually have that much time to do.
I'm saying I think we have more time than you're giving credit for. That, and also a subtle evacuation will not raise alarm. We're not gonna go in there and just say, "Hey, you need to evacuate." Slowly and interspersedly leave the general vicinity for a little while. After
You
all,
honestly think that the list?
we have the governor's graces if we do this.
Out of character, is he like the only person in charge,
Not
or
necessarily,
is
but
this
the
a?
governor is kind of like, I wouldn't say the final say, but like It's like if you have the governor's graces to do a thing, it's like saying, "Hey, Mom said it's my turn on the Xbox." Um, some people will listen, some people won't.
Yeah, it's. I'm concerned that. How, how do I word this? I'm concerned that there will be more people who will not listen as opposed to the people who will.
And that's why we have to fight around them. That being said, for those that refuse to see reason or listen, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, as much as I as shitty as it is to say in some regards, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
That's true. You can't exactly cure. You can't exactly cure ignorance, no matter how hard you try. Still, it is something that we should keep in mind
Right.
going forward.
Obviously, don't intentionally put any innocent in harm's way, but and try to if they're in the way, try to push them away from the danger, or throw them away
Hmm.
from the danger. Unless they're a child, don't throw children.
Gr- crowd control, right?
Exactly, crowd control.
Basically.
I mean, hell, actually, with the way that my defensive mode is set up, because that's effectively riot control right there. And yeah, Garuk, you've never heard of the term riot?
He's just confused out because 3/4 of these words are just whoop over his head.
Oh, a riot
He's
is
trying his
like
best to listen, but he's still just like, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
Hmm.
imagine a raid or a siege on your home, but by people within. I mean, I guess it would work in that way too. It's very much area denial, very much
Reverse raid?
effectively.
Traitors in your midst.
Hmm.
If I can be set up
So
if I can set up my mech at a choke point, that's gonna make things all the like. I set up Olympus at a choke point, and the more ranged inclined people sit behind me. Well, uh,
those who can shoot from afar.
Hmm.
they'll have an easier time picking off those targets while I keep their attention. Or at least make it harder to get past me.
Making it harder is going to be the better statement.
Hmm.
Well, then here's the question. Which city do we want to start at? And kind of looking at the general map, is there any one city that would have some sort of feature, whether it be water or mountain range or something like that, where taking it would be a tactical advantage.
Uh, so there is the city of Ladarius, which is um that one is settled in, or set in a sort of a mountain face that like it's like the Ladarian mountain range is settled more or known for like worshippers of the sun.
Mm.
Um, there's the there's the city of Bismarck, which is located by the it's a port city that is located on the what the fuck was it called? The Serpent's Path River. And then there's the third one that is effectively a fortress.
All right. Well, my thought
And you
is
can
we
tell
try
why they're
to.
trying, why these people are trying to, why the necromancers are trying to take these cities.
Yep. Well, if you want my 2 cents, or 2 gold, 2 copper, as it were, I think Bismarck would actually be our best starting point. Not
I
to
agree.
mention, it would give.
There's also a faster way. Well, if we take that, it actually leads to a faster way of getting to the other two cities.
Mm, all the more reason to hold is to take it first and hold on to it as long as possible.
And yeah, it's kind of like the river. It doesn't connect to all three, obviously, but like the river connects to like a smaller port town on either side that kind of functions as like almost like a highway type thing where this city,
Hmm.
this town is built on the river, and then it leads to there's like a path that leads to Ladarius or to the fortress.
Karuk, Hibara, thoughts?
He points at the place where he's assuming they said Bismarck. We reverse raid here.
We also need to figure out when they're planning to attack them as well, or attack them again anyway.
Which means we will need to at least keep one alive.
I said we need to find a base. Put fire inside of it.
Throw fire inside of their base. I mean, these aren't their bases. These are cities that they're trying to take at present.
Yeah, but they have
Yes,
to have a
let's.
base somewhere. They can't just
Yeah,
be.
that's the thing is, the more information we get from of a vaster degree of knowledge for the area, the more we can pinpoint their locations. That's why we're trying to keep these cities.
We'll protect the cities. We just need
And
a
first,
general direction, and then we move everything in that general direction.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Even the problem with that logic is that having a we don't know where the general direction is. We just know that they're popping up all over the place.
And I know magic can do a lot of things, but I don't have a spell that can definitively point in a direction. And I don't know if you do either, Hibara.
I do not.
I mean, even
As quickly as possible.
yeah.
And without raising alarms. Yes?
Correct.
Yes, that's why
But
we're
what we
using
need
the
to do as
scouts.
well is we need to evacuate them one at a time. If all three of them are getting evacuated, even if they seem to be getting randomly dispersed, there's too much likelihood of